Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and it's time for another overlooked but awesome card, and I am so excited about this one. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some hints, and you have to try to guess it. I will start by simply asking you, what is the biggest dream, the biggest goal or accomplishment that any Magic player would be expected to strive to achieve? Maybe some of you are like, oh, infinite life. No, come on. Infinite life, come on. I do that 10 times before breakfast. Although I will say, if your kitchen thinks infinite loot player, like, go die somewhere. No, you're thinking way too small. Okay, so you're probably thinking now, come in first at F&M. Well, duh, play my Gravity Bomb deck. Like, I came in first at F&M twice with it. No, way too small. So now you're thinking, oh, I get it. Win a GP, come in first place at a GP. Or I suppose a Pro Tour, the World Tournament, whatever. That's a pretty lofty goal, pretty unrealistic. Lot of cheaters, lot of illegal drug abusers in your way to getting to that goal. But no, you've got to think bigger. So now you longtime players are really scratching your head and you're thinking, wait a minute. It's get your face in the artwork on a card, isn't it? He's going to do an overlook but awesome on the card that guy got his face on, which honestly I think is multiple cards. Nope, sorry, that's not it either. So perhaps some of you are thinking, I know, get a job at Wizards. Let me think about that for a second. No, you do not want to work at Wizards of the frickin' Coast. Are you kidding me? I personally would rather work in the 9th ring of hell than with the knuckle-dragging apes that work at Wizards of the Coast. By the way, Wizards, if you want to send me that 8th Revolt spoiler for my channel, just get a hold of me. I'm free most days. I'd be delighted. So if it's not win something, get your face on a card, or anything else like that, what would possibly be the loftiest accomplishment in all of Magic history that every single player strives to do? It's build a Squirrels deck. Everybody wants a Squirrels tribal deck. From the time you saw your very first Squirrel card, you thought to yourself, I have to do it. I have to build a Squirrels deck. Squirrels are basically at this point a complete meme, like an ongoing running gag in Magic. They're on playmats, they're on deck boxes and sleeves, they're on cards. I mean, oh my gosh, squirrels are where it's at. Even the staff themselves have personally said that either they own a Squirrels deck and it's their absolute favorite, or they aspire with their lifetime goal to build a Squirrels deck. They've also said that they are actively trying, although they might have been joking, to put squirrels as a tribal in some sort of future standard set. It's basically like a well-known fact that squirrels are the favorite creature type of all Magic players, everybody who works at Wizards, and everybody on planet Earth. So what, dare you ask, is the greatest squirrel card in all of printed history? That's a pretty wise question, good sir. Unfortunately, it's not the correct question. What you should be asking yourself is, since Desolator's only been playing the game for like 4 years and doesn't know really any of the older cards, what random squirrel-related card did he come across and want to include in this series, so he made a 3-minute backstory about it? And honestly, it's probably not the best squirrel card in all of Magic because he was too lazy to search for the word squirrel on the Gatherer website. That is the correct question. So today, in the year of our Lord 2016, December 7th, crap, has it rolled around to midnight yet? Okay, no, December 7th. I present to you, fine viewers, Acorn Catapult. Not only is this the greatest squirrel-related card ever printed, but it is quite possibly the weakest and most pointless, jank garbage rare I have ever seen in all of my history of playing Magic. That's really saying something if you think about all the garbage rares that have been printed. And if you ask yourself, why would it be the greatest card then if it's the worst card? You just answered your own question. Clearly you haven't seen the rest of the series. Now, Acorn Catapult was only printed once. It was in the complete dumpster fire that was Magic the Gathering Commander, which I assume was the first Commander set released. I'm way too lazy to look it up. And that just makes it all the more special. It costs 4, it's an artifact, and you pay 1 mana, which, I mean, it's a little high, it's a little steep, I'll be honest. You also tap it, and Acorn Catapult deals 1 damage to target creature or player. That creature's controller, or that player, puts a 1/1 green squirrel creature token onto the battlefield. That's right, you don't get the squirrel, they get the squirrel. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Why would I want to give them a creature? That's like Swan Song. You counter their spell and then give them a 2/2 flying token. What's the point of that? Well, duh, next turn you fire another acorn and kill the squirrel. I mean, wasn't that kind of obvious to everybody? Now, you may at this point be proposing the question, but Desolator, wouldn't that generate another squirrel? Yes, and then you would kill it the next turn. Guys, it spells itself out. You may be also asking, why do they call it Acorn Catapult when that is clearly a trebuchet? Well, to that I've got to say, read the flavor text. The Colonian word for ammunition is the same as the word for bait. So, thusly, it can then be assumed that through the literary reflexive property of equality, catapult means trebuchet in Colonian. I'm sure they've printed an entire translation book at this point. I also assume it was then eaten by the Colonian Hydra. Also, the squirrel probably was too. So now if you're thinking to yourself, this card is absolutely stupid, it's completely useless, pointless, I don't get it. You're dealing 1 damage to them and then giving them a creature, which will then deal probably 1 damage to you on the next swing. If you hit them 5 times and now have an army of squirrels. This card is a complete pile of crap. First of all, the Colonians are basically Amish. You can't really fault them for making something that looks like a complete pile of crap. But assuming that you weren't solely referring to the artwork, there is a secret power hidden inside the Acorn Catapult. You have to read it very carefully. Acorn Catapult deals 1 damage to target creature or player. As in not just an opponent. Not only could you fire it at your own creature, I assume you could also fire it at yourself because it just says player. But wait, there's more. If you were to fire it at an ally in a 2 versus 2 multiplayer match, like some kind of 2-headed giant commander monstrosity, ta-da, you deal 1 damage to a creature at the end of, somebody's turn where it doesn't matter, the damage is about to wear off, and boom, you just dropped in a squirrel. It's like squirrels are parachuting from the sky to save your ally from destruction. And shame on you for only assuming that you would ever fire acorns solely at your opponent. That is malicious and uncalled for. You should be pelting your own creatures with acorns. So that's it for today's Overlooked but Awesome card. If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comment section below, and I will hopefully pick it up for a future episode. I'll see you guys next video.